Hey everyone, it's Tim and Falcon, and I'm back with more Road to 1K. This is the first episode of season 4, actually. So that's exciting. Let's see, where is my freaking... There it is. So today's match is going to be this high funds tier 1 match against plus 612 on the map Beach Nation Vacation. Obviously skipping this match because it was only 8 days against relatively low level players, so it's not going to be that useful. I feel like it ended before anything interesting actually happened. And that's sort of what my policy is going to be going forward, is just skipping things that aren't that interesting or that end too quickly. And yeah, because I'm sort of in this mode where I'm like, I get in 1.1k for a little bit, but I fall back out of it, and then I get back into it. So I'm hovering around 1.1k, and as long as I'm in this mode, I'm probably gonna keep this season going. I'm gonna aim for like 15 episodes for this one, for this season, and then we'll see what where to go from there once I get to that 15. So yeah, let's just get started with the so this is Beach Nation Vacation. It's got these comp towers on the sides that you need to break through the pipe seams in order to get to. So it's kind of limited to once you start spamming out bombs, which honestly might take a little while because the airport is actually a lot more isolated than you might. But basically you need to get bombers to get to this. You could theoretically get our rockets here. 2, 3, 4, 5, and then in 2 turns you can move it over to here. Oh wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can move it here, and then it can break that. You could break it with the rockets, I guess, but like it's such a high investment for just the comm tower. You may as well just wait until you get bombers in order to pop that baby open. So yeah, excuse me. This is a 3 base, 1 airport map. It's got this little ocean area here with the harbor as well. And the harbor is good just so that you can get a black boat to get to here, so that you don't have to slow down your battlecopter production from this airport. Let's see. I believe Kanbei is actually banned now. Yeah, he is banned now in Tier 1 globally. So I'm assuming that it's mainly because I didn't play all that well in this match, but you can see it's exciting because I actually haven't played that many games with Kanbei. This is like my first actual game with Kanbei globally, because it's so rare for him to be available for use, and it's just high funds up here, and I haven't played basically any of those. I mean, Dan did a lot of maps for that anyways, so. But yeah, Kanbei's crazy with his 30% extra day-to-day defense and firepower as well. That's mainly his main draw, is that his superpower is also pretty good. Eagle, honestly, I kind of expect him to be higher, but this isn't mixed base, so it's a little bit, his lightning spec is a little bit less effective than it might be, than you might be used to on a high funds map, in which you have bases basically next to one another, and Eagle can just keep popping out units onto the fronts like immediately if he has the money for it. He can basically just spam out as many lightning as he needs. As it's high funds, that means that you sort of counter with like neo things and such. Yeah, that's that. And then obviously the global damage CO is like full off, and I'm a pretty high with it as well. Even though we haven't been, excuse me. Even though they haven't been used all that much, and then Sensei's doing alright. He's doing alright. So, yeah. think I covered everything to look at on the map. There's a this central area is a bit choke point, I guess. But that's about it for POIs. You definitely need to break through this compound, these pipe seam, in order if you want to hit the comp tower first. You can't just land. You need a space adjacent to the comp tower in order to land a unit there. So that could be like, oh. I mean, now that I think about it, I guess you could build a battleship too. To break the pipe seam, but like that seems so colossal. Because it would be stuck to this little lake here, and like this is basically all your territory anyways. I guess it could help pressure against this property here a little bit, but I don't think you really need it. Anyways, yeah, let's just get started with so. As you can see here, obviously going for the bases and easy captures to start out. It's just very standard stuff to go with here. Fire, and then I'm pretty sure my opponent's gonna open up in a second. Yeah, open artillery. That's actually an interesting play. Is the artillery. And there's enough forests and stuff in this area where it could be useful, I guess, but I feel like a tank's... Well, if you're playing high funds, if you're doing a tank, like I wouldn't have enough to get a neo tank this turn anyway, so I would kind of need to counter with a tank. And especially I can't afford it because I think tank would have been fine there to open up. But I absolutely counter with a recon. It's relatively cost effective, and I need to save up my money as Kanbei. Kanbei recons are pretty good, pretty crazy good too. They're like tough to kill, much tougher to kill than normal, and he's actually not going for a tank yet, which honestly is kind of a weird play, honestly, but it might. I feel like it's gonna end up being fine. And as you can see here, I'm going for a neo tank already. I can afford it mainly just because I'm gonna afford it. So yeah, I might have wanted to go for a tank to start out with though, instead of investing solidly in the neo tank up the right here. But artillery spam is always a pretty good strategy in high funds because you can use it to a good amount of effect against expensive units like neo tanks, and to zone out infantry like that, but like it did 3 damage because I'm Kanbei, so it's not even interrupting my cap there that effectively. He's going for his own neo tank, and I have 2 tanks as well to sort of like deal with this stuff, but like because I'm Kanbei, honestly I should be doing the 5 tank spam because he can't really deal with tanks. I sort of like the recon to open up, but I had enough money to go for the tank, so I should have done that. I'm also not prioritizing, as you can see there, basically takes out the infantry there. Who I think it would have done the infantry. Yeah, but I definitely should have been prioritizing the airport a little bit better, but whatever. And as you can see, he actually manages to take down my recon. If I had a tank there, I don't think it would have gone down. Because Kanbei in the forest is like almost as good as Kanbei in the city. And it's better than a mountain, defense-wise. Like, it's insane how freaking defensive Kanbei is. But as you can see, I'm getting into the swing of things. I'm actually starting to build tanks on the left here. Join cap here, and then I think I just straight up. Well, actually, I'm not going in with Neo tank. That's interesting. Mainly because of set killer here, I think, is why I decided not to do that. And then I'm countering a second Neo tank over there with my own build. So I feel like we're both being relatively cautious here, but like, and he is doing a good amount of unit damage. He's taking out my infantry on the side here. And he is sort of pushing me out with the artillery as well. Which is why I go for that and neuter that one artillery there. And then I move in with my own Neo tank like so that, and then I move in with a single health infantry as well. It's sort of blocking this Neo tank. I mean, you can stay in with the artillery if you want to take that out. But as you can see here, I'm chaining Neo tanks here. Maybe like all of these are basically Neo tanks on the mountain. It's going to be really tough for him to attack into them. I feel like this guy's the only one that's relatively exposed. like it's only 2 damage from an artillery. It's so little damage. Kanbei's defense are just fucking stupid. I've got to say, like, he only did 5 health to this tank here as well. It's like, what? And then he goes for a bomber, obviously. I've been a little bit slow on the draw with the air units as well. Like, I should definitely be getting a fighter out at this point, but whatever. Maneuvering around like that, but like, it's so defensive. He's so freaking tanky on the right side here. It's gonna be really difficult for my opponent to move in with the Neo tanks. So that's why he has the bomber here, so that he can do some specialized amount of damage here with it. And that'll be a little bit more difficult for me to deal with. But yeah, almost neutering the tank there. But again, the artillery coming in clutch here for a little bit of extra fire. I'm not sure where he moved his bomber. We'll see when we get into it. Like, 2 damage to this guy. Like, what? That being said, I am taking a little bit of damage here. So. And he does get lightning strike off here, so he is going to be able to actually break through over here. And he's got a mega tank as well in the area, which is pretty funny. I'm just going to skip to next turn. So that's where the bomber is. I feel like it should have been able to attack this turn, actually. Yeah, definitely should have been able to attack. But I obviously go for the Samurai Spirit. This is an untouchable Neo tank right here. We got this other Neo tank and start capping on here because why not? It's gonna be relatively hard. It's gonna be super difficult for him to break through that as well. Even with the freaking Mega Tank. Like that's how fucking busted Kanbei's defenses are. As you can see though, I am starting to take fall behind relatively significantly in the unit count. Like I have crazy amounts of funds and income on the table, but because of the unit count, it's not going to matter too much. He's doing 2 damage, 1 damage, 1 damage. It's so 0 damage to the tank here. Like, what the fuck is this? I'm not gonna lie, it's so. Oh, actually, that's what they did with him. He broke the pipes. And, so he's gonna get. He is gonna have a pretty good offensive bonus here. Yes, me. So he's going to be able to break through my defenses a little. So I got a second Neo tank here. I join cap here as well. Like, this is how crazy Kanbei's defenses are. Right? Right, swap that. Is he still only taking half damage from the mega tank on the city? So I'm actually guaranteed to get this cap, which is pretty funny. Instead of going for this, he goes for the Neo tank. I think that's a correct move. The other thing that I should have done was probably go for a fighter instead of this battlecopter, and maybe not the Neo tank. The issue is, like, I need the firepower on more expensive units like the Neo tanks and stuff in order to deal with his units, because I can't. Kanbei's firepower is really good, but it's not actually good enough to just randomly break through. Normal lines, especially if there's stuff like artillery or even just normal tanks have a bit of. Kanbei has a little bit of an issue to dealing with, depending on where they are. Okay, so this guy was in before us. Well, I think it's on city that matters. So yeah, it's not always guaranteed that they just one-shot stuff. And especially because I've been taking a lot of damage on my Neo tanks and stuff. And because the repairs are going to be pretty crazy, like, yeah, so it takes out that Neo tank. And it's just, he only gets my anti-air down to 6 health. Like, what the heck is this? Like, these are basically full health tanks, and the anti-air is taking effective engagements against them. It's so stupid. Kanbei is such a stupid CO. Like, what the heck? But even despite that, Eagle is making a lot of gains in the unit count. And that's the main issue here, is that I just don't have enough units on the board, because he's been basically picking off my infantry and stuff. Getting the Samurai Spirit off here, it's going to be sort of important. Kind of throwing away this guy here. The battlecopter, even though it's going to do relatively well, because I believe. Yeah, it's only doing half damage with the anti-air here, so it actually isn't that bad an engagement, considering it's an anti-air into a battlecopter. Obviously going for a fighter here. I can't tell what's going on with the glitch there, but whatever. Cliss is moving in, like, so it's just 2 damage to the infantry, which is good thing. So it's so stupid. Kanbei's defenses are just so fucking stupid. Like, what the heck? But as you can see here, I'm getting a lot of caps that are relatively guaranteed as well. The issue is, at this point, like, I'm just throwing too many units into the meat grinder. I believe, let's see what the weapon is. for this match? It was 33. So I am getting a little bit close to it. I only need 3 more properties for that. The only issue is, like, as you can see here, he's going to get a really good lightning strike pushed off here, and that's going to basically just decimate me. And that's the main issue. Is I'm not going to be able to sustain this level of capture for too long. And me pushing in like that opened me up really, really hard to his lightning strike here. And he's able to just have a field day here. Like, look at my unit count just drop. Like, even with Kanbei defenses, this is a really, really bad jump. And it's like, I feel like, well, I keep on playing for a little bit here. I popped Samurai Spirit, obviously. And I'm going for a little bit of a bomber spam here. Got a fighter, bomber. A lot of stuff here. And, like, I still have the money. I still have crazy amounts of money. The only issue is, like, the unit count is, like, impossible to get through. And after, like, one more lightning strike, I think it's going to be over. Maybe. We'll see. I feel like I just got tired out at some point and just stopped trying to play as well. Because, like, it was just irritating to deal with, I think, is the main reason why I resigned. So it gets good shots off here, and the other issue is that I'm not really preserving my unit count all that well. So like, I'm down to 20 units, 19 units. He's up by like 9 units. Something a bit, it's kind of stupid at this point. I should have just fallen back a little bit to my properties and let him attack me. Basically force him to attack me while, so that I didn't have time to build up my forces again. But, like, whatever. He even killed the fighter there. I mean, the bomber there, I think. Was that a bomber or was that a fighter? Yeah, the bomber. One hit. Now he's having a massive field day here. He's gonna get another lightning strike. I think this is where I resign. It's like, this was actually a really good push by him. This is lightning strike. And because I didn't have Samurai Spirit active, this is gonna be just devastating. He's able to just tear through my units. Especially because of the crazy unit count. Yeah, I'm at 13, 12. I'm down to like 10 units at this point. I get Samurai Spirit up, and I've got a carrier up here, which I'm sheltering my bomber in. But like, at this point, as well, at this point, like, he's got fighters in range of my fighters and a lot of anti-air as well. Me in range of my airport, so it's basically all that. So in review, there were a couple of things which I noticed in hindsight were like bad ideas. Like, my opponent went heavy into artillery early on, which is, I think it's a good move actually. Yeah. Because he's going to end up building a lot of neoteams and stuff. So having a lot of like small, high-ish firepower units to deal with his high defenses is pretty good. What I should have done in response was just build a lot of tanks, I think. Where's that tower? Like, they basically one-shot on roads. They're almost guaranteed to one-shot to get the contour as well. So there's that, and I should have definitely prioritized excuse me, the airport a lot more. Once I noticed he started spamming out artillery, because area units are like the main way that you can deal with artillery really well. And I had plenty of income to just spam battle coppers. If I had gone into this, if I had prioritized this instead of going for this city, I think I would have been a lot more easier. I would have had a lot easier of a time here. Because that would have let me get the comm tower sooner, which is important for that even. It would have let me spam out air units sooner. It would have been super important. So I think that's going for this city was actually my biggest mistake in this match. And then just not going for tanks enough might have been the other one. This recon, it was funny, but it ended up being not that good. And it's because of how I used it as well. If I had sent it towards the center, like zone stuff out here, it would have been a little bit better. I feel like I was forcing him to making this attack with the recon was really bad. I should have just put it in the city and let it sit there, because well, was my opponent would have basically been forced to move in with their tank there against it to try and get it off. I could have even left the recon here for like a turn or two, soak up some damage from like the tanks, and then I can zone them out with my own tanks. Is the idea there. Let's see. Also, I think like right away. So I managed. It took me like forever to get this airport, but once I got it, I should have opened up with a fighter like right away. Because it's super important to be able to get the fighter to deal with the bombers here. You sort of need to build a fighter to deal with the bomber. And then when you're fighting against like Eagle, it's also kind of scary because you have like he can just excuse me, sorry. When he has his lightning strike, he can just zoom across like the entire map with a fighter. Like when he gets his fighter out, I think couple turns. It's right here. Like he can just zoom across the entire map with this thing with lightning strike. So anything that you have is not safe. You need a lot of anti-air in order to deal with that. So I feel, or just a lot more of fighters. Because honestly, like Eagle fighter into Kanbei fighter isn't even trade. it's basically an even trade. It's kind of crazy. At the comm tower. Do I have to save? Here's that. I should have done a lot more fighters instead of the anti-air, honestly. That would have been a bit better. And I probably should have invested in a mega tank, actually. I guess. Let's see. So, Kanbei mega tank into Eagle mega tank. On the road, actually, sometimes one. I should have definitely gone for it. That would have been pretty good. Because, and the reason for that is because I needed to save up this airport slot for like things like a transport copter would have been nice instead of spending a shitload on this guy. And just more battlecopter spam. Because battlecopters you can relatively easily counter with like anti-air. So that would have been forcing him to build more anti-air, which is weak to my tank. And that would let me just build tanks. And yeah, I think that the other main mistake that I made was in overextending quite a bit. and not respecting Eagle's lightning strike at all. Like, you know, I set up so many amazing pushes for him because I just was right next to his production areas, so I should have definitely respected that. And yeah, that's basically my overall thoughts for this match. This was my first time as Kanbei, and I got my ass handed to me by Eagle. Even though, like, looking at the income, I had a crazy amount of income lead that entire match. And that just goes to show you just how crazy Eagle's lightning strike can be if it has the right set. So yeah, that's about it today. Next week, I'm not sure if I'm doing this match yet or this match. I haven't taken a look at the replay again. So it's either going to be this tier 4 standard or this tier 1 fog match. So tune in next Friday for that. Yeah, it'll be at, let's say, 5 o'clock Eastern. I mean Central, not Eastern. 5 o'clock p.m. Central is when I'm going to be having these scheduled for on Fridays from now on. So a bit of a change from the Sunday schedule, but honestly, I like the Friday. Well, it's a bit more. And we'll see how that goes for all. So yeah, that's about it from me for today. I guess like and subscribe and all that nonsense. I will see you guys next time.